So here's what we're going to do. We're going to peel back a layer. Peel back another layer because it's not quite getting it done. And so we've got to take it a step further. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is you get 5 trades max. This is my risk parameters. I get $1,000 loss max in a day. I get 1 to 2 risk reward ratios only. If they do not fit in that criteria, I do not take the trade. And if I enter a trade that is not a trend line break, a descending, ascending trend line break, an inverted H, or a consolidation to continuation, I've got 100 burpees and I have to run 5 miles. 100 burpees and I've got to run 5 miles. We've got to, now the little note that I read off to you yesterday, and I'll read it to you again here at the end, just the end part, because I want you to pay attention to what I'm really trying to get in and kind of hone in on, which is this. Is it fun or is it a career? You may love the craft, but when you love something, you fear it and you respect it all at the same time. So do you love day trading? You get the chance to define what love is with fixed parameters. These are the fixed parameters that I just read to you a minute ago that are now the new rules. And now there needs to be real pain that is inflicted if I break these rules, because I'm more concerned with dopamine hits at this point. And so we're going to peel it back. So I'm either going to just be even more shredded because I just will not get over this hump, which I know I will. Because I'm going to get tired of doing 100 burpees in 5 miles if I fuck this up. And excuse my French, but I'm not here to play games anymore. And I never was at the beginning, but you got to mess up because this is a part of the experience. But shame on you if you continue to do the same thing. Shame on you if you don't journal, so you don't know really recency bias. You forget. You only remember the good trades. You don't remember the bad trades. Even if the bad trade was the last one, you still remember the good one. That was that one breakout trade that, wow, I made a lot of money. And realistically, if you logged it, that might have a 10% win rate. And you're like, what am I doing? Why don't I just scrap that? Why would I even put that in my trading plan? But these are the things that you have to really start to dive in and focus on. So something is telling me to do this that I just told you, the thing I just read, which was in yesterday's video, 5 trades max. And it could be 1 trade or 2 trades because all I get is $1,000. That's all I get. That's my leash. 1 to 2 risk reward ratios only. If it doesn't fit into that criteria, I don't get into it. And it must be a trend line break on the 1 to 5 minute. It's got to be an inverse H, or it's got to be consolidation and continuation, or supply and demand. I should have put that as well. So that is another one that I've already told you guys before that is, a trade setup, a playbook play that I normally take. But now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty and really find out within those couple plays in my playbook, what is the hit rate on those? And so I need to become more and more defined and more refined on my own thing, because I know how to trade enough now, and I beat myself. I over leverage. I know. And I wasn't in denial. I was always taking responsibility, but I need to take more now. And now not just taking responsibility and going, yup, that was me. My bad. My bad is going to make me broke. It's no more my bad. It's do the fucking job. And I say this because I'm passionate about it, because this is something that I am going to prove to not only my kids, my loved ones that's watching this, those who have been here since day one, and those who are just, I've wanted to get into day trading. I don't really know who to follow. I don't really know. This is the opportunity for you guys to jump on with me when I have not yet got hundreds of thousands of dollars of payouts, and for you to come along on the journey. So some of these videos are not going to be, Scorsese productions. They are going to be the very best of what my day consisted of as far as quality goes. But is there a lot of editing? No, it's raw and unedited a lot of the time. And because I always want to make the page better for you guys and give you guys more value, that is what I'm always looking. Right now we're cooking things up behind the scenes to make this where it's much more production finished with a nice professional touch instead of me doing this. But a lot of times you guys still need this. So I'm here to tell you, these are my rules. Yours might be different, write them out. You might be on the brink of, you might already be profitable. You might have gotten a funded account. I have pushed too aggressively, have gotten over the hump, but have not defined my parameters and then define and refine my skills within my only the plays that are in my playbook. I don't do that enough. And I know that. And when I look in the mirror, I know you're not. You're bored, you're chasing, you're trying to be in the market for the sheer, hey, gambler's mentality. I'm in the market, let's go, this is what I do, I'm a day trader. So take it serious. I'm talking to me. Take it serious. And maybe it's talking to you. I hope this helps at least one person snap into, okay, I got to lock in. I've got to lock in. I'm not going to continue to do this. And the first account I ever opened on FTMO when I first figured out what trading was, and luckily it was kind of, again, it's all very new, right? Like I'm not even past 2 years yet. And so unfortunately we can no longer trade FTMO unless you're already funded. It's no longer in the United States, I should say. It's in, it's a UK company. And they were an extremely beneficial, still are, prop firm, and gave you pretty wide parameters when you really think about it. When you look at futures, when you look at Apex, things like that. I digress. Here's what I'm saying. Again, in the note yesterday, these companies will go away. Take advantage. Slow down. Clearly it's not going through here, and I'm starting to realize that I'm real good at convincing me. I know just what I need to do to duck and dodge, and it's like you guys have seen me do boxing recently and show you guys some of the progress and how it's coming, and it's coming together. It's getting better for sure. And that's what, obviously, not by my word, but by my coach's word. He says, well, you're really coming along. Obviously your athleticism in football already is allowing you to learn very quickly, and I am going to be a student of the game though. But I need to get to very similar, if I'm using it as an analogy, like boxing, where you need to get hit in the fucking mouth sometimes. And I'm excuse my French, but sometimes because you're clicking a button and because it feels effortless, because it doesn't take a strain on you like squatting 315, you're not having to necessarily be so focused. So you put the subconscious mind is on, and when you have a non-profitable or a not necessarily a positive loop that's playing back and forth, well, then you're going to continue to give profits to the market because you've been messing it up before. So why would you continue to do the right thing all of a sudden? So it's the habits, right? It's the habitual things that I do, that I wake up every day and make sure that that's correct. So then that translates right into trading as well. The routine, I wake up at this time, I get up, I make breakfast, or I fasted, I get my coffee, I go to the gym, I do my workout, I do this, I do that. The shit cannot change ever. And I've got to be so regimented. And so this is where I'm starting. You guys know that I go in and box. You guys know that I lift. You guys have seen that. I still want to bring that to you. Again, as I told you, there's stuff in the background that's cooking up right now to help with capturing the entire thing. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode 1 that I threw on about a week ago. Had a friend of mine who is hopefully in works of doing some future business with me. And we can really cook up some nice storyline things, and they'll be once a week. And that way you guys are going to see the progress, but you're going to see the ascension. And now we can premiere things, and you guys can wait for it. And hey, next week on Thursday at 8 o'clock, it drops. I want to I don't want to let this be so watered down. And we've done this for a long time now, over 100 and some days, right? And I fully plan on it going a year, 2 years, 3 years, because I told you I'm not going to be off of YouTube at this point. I'm going to continue to build it because I need to tell my story. With that said, and show this journey, of course. With that said, I need you to understand that you are going to see me take this to the next level, take this to another notch where I'm going, listen, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, like in boxing, like if I don't bring my hand under, up on my chin, I'm going to get knocked the fuck out. Well, you want to break your rules and go under 1,000? You think shit's sweet. Go take your ass outside, go run 5 miles. So you will see me, guys, I didn't think that it was going to go that far, and I'm bouncing around because I'm fucking running. I'm running outside. I'm not going to let myself slip of that. I need to grab control of this unconscious, subconscious loop that my brain is on because it already knows how to survive. And it knows that if I just continue to stay homeostasis right here, if we don't change a thing, I'll continue to live. Your body is just this big flesh, and just big frame of flesh and blood. And it's just going, okay, your brain's like, how do I just make sure that everything's functioning? And as long as everything's good and like, I'm not in this primal state of like, I'm going to get eaten by, a lion, this fight or flight, situation, then let's stay right here. Your brain doesn't want to change if it doesn't need to. I'm going to change it. So either I'm going to continue to mess this up, lose more than $1,000, trade something that's not my strategy, and it can be any one of those things. In any and all those things. And if that's what happens, you will see me outside running 5 miles and doing 100 burpees. So I might just be shredded because I just continue to break the rules. And then one day it's going to click where I'm going to be like, I'm tired of running. I don't want to. So I have to place a little bit of fear in responsibility and responsibility in me. So that way I'm holding myself accountable. That way it makes me stay patient. If not, then I am going to see and reap the exact same things that I've already seen already. And you know what it is? It's misery, and it's, oh my gosh, and again, and guys, I'm funded, and then guys, I blew it, and guys, I'm funded, and I blew it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to lose anymore. And it's easy for me to say. It's a harder thing to do. But I don't give a shit what the exercise is. I don't care. But I've got to make it so brutal because it is not about turning it into a positive and going, well, I'm tough enough to do it. And, well, it will make my body look good. And what? Under what cost? So I'm blowing money. And now I'm thinking it's a benefit because I'm doing extra burpees in 5 months. No. I need to make it so miserable that my brain is in trauma because I cannot lose more than $1,000 in a day. Max. And I'm having to essentially strip it down, peel back the layers, to then build it up. And let my strategy talk to me. After logging things, after tracking things, after, this is the key. Today we got in some nice trades on Webull, and we actually took let's see what today's profits were. We ended up making 2064, so we went up 12%. Remember I told you we took a nice dip down. We're at 184 right now. Again, we started at 295, so we're getting ourselves out of this hole. But it was a positive day. It was a green day. As I told you before, I think naturally futures are just one of those things that I am not taking 17 trades, 25 trades like futures were, because it's just a whole different pace. It's not to say that I couldn't, but with a smaller account size, there's not $1,000 in there, there's not $2,000 in there, and it's not really about the size, but taking quality trades, seeing a setup, playing the play, that sort of thing. It is, making me slow down, which is good. But ultimately, we have a challenge to accomplish. And I plan on accomplishing that challenge. I don't know how long it's going to take. But as I said, I'm trying to get that done in, what did I say, 60 days? So I'm trying to take that 300 to 3,000. See, I put a sticky note here, I know. Let me see. What did I say? No, I don't know what I said. I know I said 300 to 3,000. I don't know if I put a date on it necessarily, but we're coming for it. So this is what I mean, is tracking the little details, the things that seem like they don't matter. How I was feeling during a trade. I do a lot of this where I'm just kind of talking to you guys about where my mind's at, how I traded, how things went. You know, it's not, you've got to take your mind off of the money. It's not the money. The skill is what allows you to extract the money. But when I've got the skill, I always make money because I got the skill to make money. There's a lot of that, a lot of money things, but you get my point. I want you to recognize and realize that this is about refining and defining. Refining and defining. Playbooks, execution, risk to reward, and actually detach from the money. Because because the byproduct of the proper risk management and having discipline of placing trades and not ever going on a bigger loss than 1,000, which now avoids me from going on tilt, or I'm revenge trading, or any of those things, or FOMO, or chasing things because I want the best setups I can possibly get, and then I'm letting things hit TP or hit stop loss, and that's the end of it. And if I go over my 1,000, you know what's coming. Let's go. Take your ass outside. 5 miles, 100 burpees. So I have to take it to a new extreme because I'm not sure what else, you know, but I'm able to be aware enough to go, okay, Julian, you gotta make a shift, dog. You gotta. You know, I want you to understand that through all this, like, struggle, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Through this struggle and like, I think I got it. Oh, I got it for sure. And then, oh, I'm a failure. And then and all the traders can relate to this. But through this process, like, you know, remember guys, confidence is everything. And I'm going to talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm showing you the struggle right now. It looks like shit. It's supposed to. Because I'm turning the camera on and going, I'm fucking up. But would you want it any other way? Or you just want me to be another guru on the internet? Maybe you do. And for me to just pull up in a Lambo and just be like, I can teach you how to trade and change your life forever and your family's life. And some of you will buy my course, some of you won't. But how much more satisfying for me, for my family, for my kids to watch this later, and then for you, when you're like, who is this kid? Who is Julian? Who is he as a person? You know? And I try to let you in on that. That's why I don't go, oh man, these aren't 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm not here to be popular in the sense of, man, those videos were like a movie. That's what I hire somebody to do. They're going to make it the movie, but I am going to do me. And so when I say I'm going to talk my shit, I am first a professional athlete, and then I'm a day trader. And I'm a professional athlete trying to learn day trading. But make zero mistake about it. You or anybody else watching this and me, the only difference between us is my mindset. That's it. I just never stopped. There's people who were better than me, a lot better than me. But I didn't stop ever. I never took my foot off the gas. Because I didn't see that there was there was never a plan B. This is plan A is plan B. So this is the same way that I take the markets, but I know that this is real money. I'm earning it and then I fucking lose it. I earn it and then I lose it. And then I make a lot and then I'm like, oh, and then I make some, and then I lose. It's like, this is where we do that boom and bust. Or we make a lot, we're like it's creeping up, or we're right at that break even where it's like, boom, get past, like do the hard shit of making $20,000 on Apex on 4 different accounts. So you're pushing, again, yes, it's a copy trader, but at the end of the day, 4 accounts on 20K is still $80,000. So I'm making 80 grand, pay the PA fee, and then get in, and I'm just under $4,000 away from the trailing, leaving, and then fumble the bag. But you see the progression. It's like you see glimpses. That's all you need. You got to see glimpses of greatness before greatness stays. So I'm aware, and I am like, I know this is the process. I got to enjoy this. I hate it, but I got to fall in love with this process of finding me as a person, to know what works and how do I use my own superpowers of the confidence. I have no fear to size up, but now I've got new rules where I'm like, yeah, but you can't buy an account on one day and then blow it the same day. And so sometimes my superior confidence of I like this setup is the issue for me. And I've realized that because I'll go in there way too heavy, where I don't even give my strategy, playbook, risk to reward, any of that a chance, because I'm just chucking it for the hills. I'm throwing Hail Marys. Every play I'm throwing Hail Marys. And it's like, what do you expect? But those of you who trade, who have been doing this, who've been putting money on the line, know exactly where I'm coming from. And hopefully, if they're watching this, also see like, okay, you're building rules, you're starting to become more now. Again, it's a whole nother story, right? I got to hold myself accountable still, and still do the 5 miles, and still do the 100 burpees. When it comes to it, and I go, I'll do it later. No. Be responsible. Be accountable. But at the same time, when I do the right stuff, I have to also associate and start to reward myself. Things I like, reward myself for doing those things, because your brain, again, is like, oh, okay, I got a dopamine hit because he went and got, tacos. He treated himself and went and got tacos, or he treated himself and went and got sushi, or whatever. Or, okay, this weekend you get some sushi or some tacos. Those are my 2 favorite. Boom. Like, it has to be built in, and there's no negotiation, because it has to be. You have to remember why. And really, if you could do it more immediate than waiting for the weekend, then your brain can be like, oh, okay, cool. It's almost like giving yourself a piece of candy for that great trade or whatever. And that's not what I'm going to do, because that's how you get fat. But I'm just saying that there's got to be a reward system of some merit system, so your brain can remember. Okay? And then I want to start doing this, because I've told you this before. I know it will help somebody somewhere. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you are used to seeing on the internet. I don't know what you watch, who you watch, but I have not made it as far as I've made it in sports and life, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur. I haven't done anything without this. This is the Bible. Okay? Some of you might be like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't turn into that. Let me ask you a question. Do you think my videos are named the date that it was recorded, and then it says vlog at the end? Do you think that I am concerned about losing followers because they don't believe in what I believe in? I respect whatever you believe in. And you might just call what I call God something else. But that doesn't mean that you can't be open-minded enough to hear what the Word has to say, because you've maybe never read this before. And so what am I going to do? We're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to finish the Bible together. And we're going to read a page or 2. That's it. And we're going to keep chopping wood. I don't know why, but it came to my spirit that I needed to do this, because I need the refresher as well too, because it will make me a better man. Renaissance man, as I've told you. Kids, don't not pick this up. This is the most powerful book in the world. All the other books are great. This is the best. And I don't read it enough. I've read the whole thing, but that, it's not like pick it up, put it down. Okay, cool, I'm done with it. No. This is not a homework assignment. This is a life journey. Understand it. Fall in love with it. Get it. So, this is the New Testament. Okay? Let's get after it, all right? This is the Message, by the way. Okay, New Testament. All right. Let's go. We're going to do one. We're in Matthew. Okay, chapter 1. You guys ready? All right. The family tree of Jesus Christ, David's son, Abraham's son. Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had Judah and his brothers. Judah had Perez. Zariah, the mother, was Tamar. Perez had Hezron. Hezron had Aram. Aram had Aminadab. Aminadab had Nahshon. Nahshon had Solomon. Solomon had Boaz. His mother was Rahab. Boaz had Obed. Ruth was the mother. Obed had Jesse. Jesse had David, and David became the king. David had Solomon. Uriah's wife was the mother. Solomon had Rehoboam. Rehoboam had Abijah. Abijah had Asa. Asa had Josaphat. Josaphat had Joram. Joram had Uzziah. Uzziah had Jotham. Jotham had Ahaz. Ahaz had Hezekiah. Hezekiah had Messiah. Messiah had Amon. Amon had Josiah. Josiah had Jehoiachin and his brother, and then the people were taken into the Babylon exile. That was a lot of names. Wait, we're not done. When the Babylon exile ended, Jeconiah had Shealtiel. Shealtiel had Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel had Abiud had Eliakim. Eliakim had Azor. Azor had Zadok. Zadok had Akim. Akim had Eliud. Had Eleazar. Eleazar had Manhattan. Matthan had Jacob. Jacob had Joseph, Mary's husband. The Mary who gave birth to Jesus, and Jesus who was called Christ. That was a lot. Sorry for the names. I probably completely destroyed those names in a bad way, but God will forgive me. There were 14 generations from Abraham to David, another 14 from David to the Babylonian exile, and yet another 14 from the Babylon exile to Christ. The birth of Jesus. So we're going to read this page real quick. You ready? The birth of Jesus took place like this. His mother Mary was engaged to be married to Joseph. Before they came to the marriage bed, Joseph discovered she was pregnant. It was by the Holy Spirit, but he didn't know that. Joseph, chagrin but noble, determined to take care of things quietly so Mary would not be disgraced. While he was trying to figure out a way, he had a dream. God's angel spoke in him. In his dream, Joseph, son of David, don't hesitate to get married. Mary's pregnancy is spirit conceived. God's Holy Spirit had made her pregnant. She will bring a son to birth. And when she does, you, Joseph, will name him Jesus. God saves, because he will save his people from their sin. This would bring the prophet's embryonic sermon to full term. Watch from this. A virgin will get pregnant and bear a son. They will name him Emmanuel, Hebrew for God is with us. Then Joseph woke up. He did exactly what God's angel commanded in the dream. He married Mary. But he did not consummate the marriage until she had the baby. He named the baby Jesus. All right, that's the one we're going to do today. That's it. Say it with me if you know it. You are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. Nobody told you today. I love you so much. Peace.